guys, there's like a bajillion different harnesses, right? There's, you know, Claude Code, Codex, Gemini, or let's see, I don't even need a cursor, and open code, right? Right? We got that, right? Right? That's okay, yeah. We have so many harnesses, right? Heck, just for the heck of it, let's mention bridge mind for the keyword. Mind, right? All my homies hate Gemini. Yeah. All right, we could say the Gemini right here. Gemini. All right. Don't forget pi. All right, pi. Gotta add pi here. Oh, let's give it a blue one. Pi. Right. Wait. All right. Okay. We have so many harnesses. Kimi code. No. Oh, let's actually put in what do you call it? Excuse me. We could put in Copilot. The game is covering the notepad. The game is covering the notepad? Huh? You can't see properly? But then you won't be able to see yourself. Oh. Just for you. Just for you. Give me a second. Fugu. Actually, you know what? Let's put it here. There you go. Let's put it this way. There's just so many people in here. There's so many people in here. There's the sim is going crazy. But then yeah, all right. As long as you guys keep chatting, I will gladly turn off the vibing for you, right? All right, this is my philosophy here. This right here, harnesses oversaturated. Right? It's oversaturated. Right? I'm not gonna mention all. This is just harnesses, right? This is just harnesses. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. We're talking about harnesses here. Red. Yeah, are you okay? It's oversaturated, right? The last thing you want to be is creating a product competing against these harnesses. Right? That's the one philosophy that I have. So you have the harness, and then obviously you have the models. The models. Let's do that here. You got your Claude, you got your GPT, and you know all these other models, right? For the sake of it, I'm just gonna add 2, which is just OpenAI, and then Claude. Oops, not that Claude. Turn it off. Claude. I'm just gonna mention these 2, right? Because I'll talk, and then let's just, you know, see if some Kimi DeepSeek. Let's see if DeepSeek's on there. All right, cool, it's there. All right, DeepSeek. All right, I don't want to have that. I just want DeepSeek. I just want DeepSeek, guys. How hard is it to get DeepSeek? Just DeepSeek? No. GLM? Any Chinese models? Kimi? Kimi could be at the top since the best. I mean, there is no Kimi on here, guys. Does Kimi have a thing? No? Sticker? DeepSeek. No. No. They don't have it. Anyway. There's DeepSeek, there's the open source, open weight models, the frontier models, right? And then you need your harness to use them. Your harness will use these models, vice versa, and then overall, guys, we're just trying to produce code here. Guys, we're just trying to produce code. Produce code. Or you can have China sticker. Oh yeah, you're right. Jeez. That's perfect. That was perfect. That was perfect, guys. Evo with the China. Evo with the China, guys. Alright, Evo with China. Alright, you have the China models, then you have the frontier models, right? You have the harness, and the harness produces code. This is what we want, guys. This is what we want. We want code. We don't care about anything else, right? We want code. We want code, guys. Is it that hard to just get code out? Right? So, in order to produce code, we'll put this here. We need a prompt. So we went from models to harness to I guess prompt. Let's go here. And the prompt. Let's go here. Prompt. Anything for prompt, guys? Any gifts for prompt? Let's do that. Oh. Alright. So we got the models. We got the harness. We got the prompt. So let's talk about the prompts. You know, first you got your user, you, right? You, let's move this here. Oops. You know, create the prompt. The prompt sends it to the harness. That's pretty straightforward, right? However, you are dumb. Human. I am also dumb. I am also dumb. Human. I am also a dumb human. But, let's see here. Say caveman. I think that's better. Yeah. In this case, we're a SpongeBob. But have years. I'm not gonna say how many years in software engineering. See, that's the difference between you and me. Sigma. That's the difference. There's the difference. Diff, guys. Is there a skill? Let's, Alright. There's a big difference between you and me. Alright. So, one thing that I at least could offer is my first advice. Tip 1. Don't create the prompt. Let AI create the prompt for you. Alright? This is probably a big tip. This will probably change your whole career if you're actually working somewhere. What do I mean by this? Alright? How do you get this to happen? You say, right? You say, I want you to do X feature, or to add X feature. feature or add, create X feature or project. Feature, project, product, whatever. Right? Ideally, this is the most you could do. Ideally, this is the most that you could do. But you could say, once you do this, at least, once you do this, put that here, put that there, you can say, hey, you can convert this into a skill, or utilize a skill. And what this skill will be is, you know, this will be your input, and then you tell to the model, to your harness model, and say, based on input, create prompt, right? It sounds simple, and you'd be like, Sigma, isn't that just like, you know, the same thing? No, I'll tell you why. So when you add in your input here and you send it to your model, it will say, okay, the model itself, all right, has a way of thinking, right? And it requires special syntax. How to create a skill. A skill is pretty straightforward. You could tell your model, tell your harness to create a skill to do this. So that way, in this case, my skill called mono, or it could be like this, mono. And so when my skill is called mono. And so when I trigger it, the trigger, I say mono, you know, add X feature to my project. And then what this does is it will, you know, do exactly this. It'll do exactly that. So I don't have to keep typing in all these. I don't have to type in exactly what I want. The model will interpret what I want by creating a prompt for itself. So every model thinks a different way, right? It thinks a different way all the time. Like there's no way to give it all the specific instructions it needs. So it needs to interpret that itself. You'd think that what do you call it? It does the same thing every time you prompt it, but no, you get way better performance letting it prompt itself to create a prompt for itself to submit it. So once it creates the prompt, guys, it submits it. It's it to itself. So you don't actually need to like copy and paste the prompt and paste it somewhere else. You could actually get it to automate to submit to itself. So you don't, so it's like automating your prompting pretty much. And do I still have you guys? Am I making sense here, or am I talking alien language? Just to clarify, like I just want to make sure, you know, things, it's not some magic voodoo that I'm speaking, right? Like I sort of make sense here. I only ask because it makes sense. All right, yeah, that's it. Just want to verify. Sorry, I was using my command. No worries. But because of this, guys, you know, it saves you a ton of time trying to figure out what to prompt, and how you want to structure your prompt, how you want to like your consistency of prompting and stuff. But no, you just have your natural language, your feature that you want. You get it to create the prompt for you, and then it submits it to itself. Straightforward. And it's because we are dumb human. You are dumb human. I'm also dumb human. But if we use AI, guys, if we use AI, where could I put this? AI. If we use AI, guys. If we use AI, we could let AI do all the heavy lifting here, right? Pretty straightforward. So that's tip number one. All right, that's tip number one. Tip number two. Let me think of tip number two, guys. Give me a minute, because you know there's a lot to talk about. We're just talking about philosophy here, so it's not necessarily you know, set in stone. It's just philosophy. So tip number two, let's see, might be too complicated, so I have to really think about it. We have to think. Let's just talk on the drawing board here. We got like model selection, effort level, MCPs, AI native, tools. What else do we have? Delegation, workflows, subagents, testing, planning. How to plan before execution. You're right, planning. So planning is good. I think I'm a big fan of planning. Not many people are. But let's start with planning. Let's go to planning here. So one thing that I was a fan in when you're going for planning is really good for tokenomics. Saving every token. Saving every token. Saving efficiently. Using every token. And one of the things that got me into planning is Boris. I wonder if we have the actual Boris on here. What's his name? Boris Cherney. Boris Cherney. I don't think he's on here though. I don't think he's on here. But it's the other the creator of Claude Code. Let's see if we could just get an image of him really quick. All right, he always uses this for his Twitter, so copy link, copy image, paste. All right, we got Boris Cherny here, creator of Claude Code. All right, so Boris recommended, advised to use planning. So in planning, research also includes, like, if I'm starting a startup idea or I have an idea I want to research and plan. So yeah, so planning I'd use for before execution. So planning before executing, writing code. Before writing code, you need to have an exchange. Or more, maybe like a survey. A questionnaire. With you to align on all the right features. However, what you're referring to is you're referring to deep research. So planning and deep research are a little sorted, I guess, in the same zone. So deep research, also known as research agent in Codex. So a deep research agent is pretty much an agent that just Googles. It's just an agent that Googles and uses web, crawls web. All right. Crawls the web. They crawl Google. Yeah, exactly. Like Perplexity. Exactly. Like those browsers. And then, you know, they can use that research and use it for your planning afterwards. Right? So one of the reasons that, you know, got me to even using planning to begin with was without planning, you use too many tokens. Waste tokens. Waste money. You're wasting tokens. Without planning, we waste tokens. Because you, the reason why you do that, let's just talk about that. Make the wrong features. And we need to reprompt. And using the same model gets expensive. Same frontier model. And what Boris did say and sort of pointed people in the direction was to use this model mode called Opus Plan at the time. Opus Plan was used Opus for planning. Then after it was done planning, it used Sonnet. Used Sonnet for execution. right? And that was like one of the main forms of like actually properly like planning and then executing your code. They were the first, you know, frontier lab to do this for some reason. So in planning and research, does it include tech stack, skills, MCP, design, MD, blah, 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 like a spec sheet? There's also the Ralph loop for a spec sheet too. You could also create a spec sheet too for planning. When you align on the right features, you could also create a spec sheet. Yeah, Anthropic starting beef with Peter was the start of their downfall. Oh no. Yeah. Spec sheet, and with a spec sheet is a list of features. Right? It's a list of features, and then what you're allowed to do is like your harness will look at these features and go through spec sheet, execute, execute. It would just do the whole Ralph loop all over again. They call it the Ralph loop. And it would just keep going over and over until you know, all features are complete type of thing. But that's not necessarily, you said earlier you're talking about tech stack research, include tech stack, skills, MCP, design, MD, etc.
Impressive.
There's several ways to approach that. Let me see. MCP, you said MCP, but that's just like interacting with the particular like service that you want to interact with. And design MD is also like very I would say it's like standard. It's just a markdown file, and it's just all right. There's all, yeah, let's also talk about that here. You got your system prompts. Claude.md. Oh, I guess applying gonna take so much time. I hope I won't get overstimulated. Yeah, no worries. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't used Design MD. And if I am, it's probably AI is taking care of all of that. Let's take a look. The stack, like you see, is the move outlets. What should summon the boss? Alright. Boss fix. Alright, let's look at design MD. Yeah, I have no design MD. So far. So for AI sloppiness, I wouldn't say it's sloppiness. There's just, yeah, AI creates a ton of files all the time. And, you know, maybe it creates design MD, maybe it doesn't, but for me, I don't have it create such a thing. Design sloppy or structure sloppy. Yeah, it could be like that too. But we're just talking about philosophy here. My philosophy is I don't use them. Because I don't, guys, that's another thing too, guys. One thing about me, I do not like markdown files. Why? I like the format, but I like the format. All I do is like the format of markdown files for readme. For readmes. Or readmes. Why? Because it's not deterministic. It's not a script. It's not something that you could immediately format correctly. It's just the LLM model interpreting it and then, you know, working from what it non-deterministic. The deterministic can't really, yeah, it's just the idea of it just doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't feel right. Like, senses, spidey senses, spider senses. Guys, my spider senses are tingling and I feel like this is not it. This is not it. So if a model creates them, then yeah, it's fine if the model creates them, if that's how it interprets it, because, you know, markdown files are used for they're used for skills, right? And then system prompts like Claude MD and Asian MD. And the reason why I don't like, I would go against friction. I would create friction with the harness if I didn't use it. So I would like to live in a world where I don't use markdown files, but the frontier is a frontier and you can't go against the frontier, guys. It's like trying to push a big giant boulder up the mountain. You're gonna make the LLM, the model, work super hard to interpret what you want if you go against its nature of the harness. All right, I need more water. I'll be back. All right, back. Yeah. Welcome. So yeah, I would go against nature if I didn't use it. So I use markdown files. I have no doubt. I just have to use it. So I've done some research on or planning. So where should I have saved them? Do I need to create an Obsidian memory graph? No, you don't. Guys, I don't think Obsidian relying on third-party tools like that is good either. Except for mine. Always relies on Sigma Shake. Let's see. So we're talking about your markdown files, right? So in my previous video, the 3-hour one, it talks about having like a monorepo, right? And we're here. We're here. I already talked about the monorepo. You should have a monorepo since you're probably building like a bunch of projects. So a monorepo is like one directory. One folder. One directory folder. Contains multiple projects. Project A. Project. At the end of the day, it's just project. Right? And each project, ideally, well, for one, in the root folder, this is the root, you should have one system prompt. Claude, MD, etc. And it should tell you, tells what each full project does is. So this MD should ideally show you what each product is, what it does, etc. So that's why that makes it easier for the model to find stuff, right? However, in each project, it should also have its own little system prompt too. CloudMD as an example. And the CloudMD has its own, so inside the root, all projects are different. Yeah. All projects are different, right? Inside, all projects are different. And each project has its markdown file. Hey, what's up? I should probably like just go in my what do you think? I should just, oh, I shouldn't just talk here, should I? You can hear me though, right?
Yeah, no, I can.
You can hear me? Alright. Yeah, should I just mute myself? Yeah, I probably should, huh? So I don't confuse you. Or should I just talk? What do you think?
Well, I mean, are you able to talk? Are you talking right now, or do you not want to?
No, I was like, do you prefer me to be muted or not muted?
Well, I was gonna ask you what the difference between a mono repo and just a root directory is.
Oh, it's this. They're the same folder. They're the same. This is the same. These things are the same thing. This is the thing. This has your. This is Sigma Shake .mono folder. This is the Sigma Shake mono folder. Yeah, it was just a little concept. They're the same thing. The root is actually. Maybe I should have never done that. Maybe I should just said this is monorepo. But I should just put in you know, parentheses. This is the root folder. So it doesn't cause any confusion.
I mean, I guess like from like I don't know if monorepo, I guess is probably a term that came from like GitHub development or.
Yeah, it's a GitHub. There's a GitHub related thing for projects, software engineering.
But yeah, it sort of makes more sense to like think of it from like the root perspective, since sort of like the agents are sort of like operating as a user.
Yeah, and then each project will have its own CloudMD, its unique skills, and they're in the monorepo. It also has skills. Yeah, it has its own Claude.md and skills. Right? They're not necessarily the same. They could be all tied together if you want to. They could be symlinked. I have them symlinked, symbolic linked, so that when you edit one skill, it'll actually edit all of them at the same time, because they're all the same file.
Are you sure it's not reloading the skills from each project at each level each time? I mean, I get that sometimes.
I have it symlinked. Like... I configured mine to be symlinked so they're all connected.
Well, right, but what I'm saying, does it know that it's symlinked, or is it like checking at each chain to verify?
I don't know. I just tell my model to do it. I just tell my model to do everything, and to keep everything consistent, so that they all know like what the same skill is. They are all aware of what the skills are, and what type of content is in each one of them. So if I want to use the mono, that's why I have a mono skill, guys. That I was trying to head to there. This is where my mono skill is.
All your CloudMDs are the same?
No, they're not. My CloudMDs are unique. CloudMDs are unique.
Oh, okay. I see.
Unique per project.
So what is symlinked? I'm confused.
The symlink is for the skills. My bad. Symlink skills. I'll show you. I will show you. Seeing is believing, right? Sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have this thing that's. All right. This is probably an older one. Is it this one? All right, here. Okay, this is missing something. 9-bit titles translating GPU. Oh, I don't know what you're referring to. So in the root, Claude MD will be there. I mean, it will tell me about the root. Claude MD will tell you about the projects and what they do, what they are for, etc. Or it will point to another file. But yeah, if I go to the affiliates principal engineer, it points me to this what do you call it? Affiliates project into the agent skill for specialized agent. But I didn't want to talk about specialized agents yet, but I was just referring to, you know, you could do this if you wanted to. Take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to do it this way. Ideally, you could figure out your own way, something that you could comprehend. Now, let me see what Millsy was talking about really quick. Millsy, this is missing something. It's missing 9-bit little strands leading to GPU image and RAM. What?
9 billion.
9 billion?
Navi?
The model? The model? What? Alright. I didn't want to talk about the monoscale yet. I was just talking about the structure and then philosophy and why I do things this way. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm good. Alright, just respond to messages. Alright, so ideally you have, you know, several projects that you're going to create in your monorepo. And the thing is, instead of tding change directory into every project and launching Claude Codex, I always just start in the monorepo. I always just load monorepo. No. Alright, sorry, just answering some questions. What about GitHub report? Do you use them? No, I don't use them. I just use Git to just manage my source code and store my source code for free, so I don't have to. Alright, so... Alright, let's talk about this philosophy here. So guys, do you understand where I'm coming from, where instead of, you know, going into this project, launching Claude Code and Codex, going to this one, launch Claude Codex, going to this one, blah blah blah, same over and over, I just load the monorepo. I just open this up and open Claude Code, and then I could send my prompt over there. But before you know, launching my prompt, I always use the monoscale. And the monoscale, I share it several times. You can view it on my GitHub. It's shared, I think. I'll just put it here in case you need to see it. So that when I use my monoscale, I just say, you know, mono do XYZ for this particular project. I could do this is an example. Oops. Example, mono, add feature to project A, right? And then it will do that. So this will happen in one terminal, just one terminal. You only need one terminal. You don't need to have multiple terminals, right? You could do this in one terminal, you can make another terminal and do the same thing. As long as it has this mono skill that understands the concept of this whole architecture, like you don't have to constantly go to each project and type in, hey, I want this feature for this project, blah, 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 type of thing. It will understand. And in this CloudMD file, it should have like the structure. Let's see, let's check it out. What it looks like. What does it look like, guys? So if we go to, let's go to like my accounts. Now we go to my CloudMD. So it has you don't have to follow this way. It generated this, you know, I didn't really give it much guidance on how it creates this. The model created this for it to understand the project. So I did not, you know, hand create these markdown or system prompts. It created them itself. It just gives a quick map of what, you know, the topic of file is. What? Go ahead.
What's up, Pertrix?
We'll say that again.
I was just saying, what's up to Pretrix?
Pretrix? What's Pretrix?
It's a person in the channel, the Discord channel.
Oh, sorry, I didn't really see. I don't really have that in the thingy yet. Let me see. Browser, Discord, voice. Oh, okay, that person. Yeah, usually, I guess I'll just mute myself, I guess. Because everybody that talked over me that one day, I just muted everybody. Muted everybody. So if they're talking, let me see their level. Yeah, I just muted them. Well, I'll just mute myself then. And I'll just step out of here. Or actually, no. Yeah, I'll keep them muted. And then I'll just only listen to
okay, what's up, Pretrix?
Alright. Actually, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just gonna leave. And then, guys, if you want to talk to me, let's just go in my own Discord, guys. I think the only way you could talk to me though is if you paid. And so I'll just go in here. Let's just go in my general hangout. Alright. Let's go in there. And then that way, it's a space that I could own. Alright, it's a space that I could own. And then I could just Discord voice. I could change this to somewhere else. What's it called again? Damn, it's called StreamKit. Let's go here. Alright. Back to me. Let's see. So every CloudMD has... Oh, I just showed you guys. Pretty much I just showed you. A quick map of the topic and file. Commands. I usually have one-line commands on how to do certain things per project. HTTP APIs. And then what else? Gotchas, MCP tools per service, and CLI per service. And then API endpoints. Pretty straightforward stuff, just to learn. And hopefully that it's just like, you know, project structure. How the project works. And yeah. How can I tell my SAI to make these subfolders? You tell it for a project. So per project. Hello, welcome. DMZO 0. You tell it like, you know, I want to create, you know, a project or a monorepo, and for all of your projects. So ideally, for every new project that you have, it'll create like its own folder, right? Its own folder per project. I have, I think, 100 of them now. So every project, you could prefix it with your main name, and then within each project is, you know, the normal code for that project, right? Now that you have this, do you remember you? Do you remember you? Do you remember me? Yes. Yes, I remember you tried to get me to install a surveillance desktop app, and I did not do it. You crashed out. You crashed out. I remember that. Yo, that's so yesterday. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. We move forward. We move forward. Anyway, we're just talking about vibe coding philosophy and methodology. And I went over projects on the web, no exe. Alright, cool. Perfect. Care to share? You know, my throat's like, I don't know what's going on with my throat. Maybe it's because of the wind. Oh, clear out, guys. Where are we at? Oh yeah. Back to as a reminder. Yeah. So inside the project, I see there's a lot of folders and source and others, and how we manage the credentials and auth without leaking them. Okay. Prez. I think I talked about this some time ago too. Creds, secrets. Alright. So for creds and secrets, I go straight to that one. Because there's like, this is the idea board. Let's just have this as topics to talk about. So creds and secrets. You're gonna have to pay for this one. I'm kidding. Just keep watching on YouTube every day. Watch all my videos on 10 different browsers. Alright. Creds and secrets, guys. We went over this some time ago. Long time ago. I don't think Turtle was here at the time. Alright. Let's do it. So you have your key. API key. Right. Comes from a vendor. Alright. Generates this API key. Now where do you store this? Where do you store it? I love that mono one. It's amazing. Yeah. No problem. Where to store it, guys? Alright. Most people say, you know, env, environment variables. I say to this, I say no. No. So I recommend, and the industry has solved this already. I wonder if this will have it in a vault. I call this the vault. Sorry. Solving some sort of dry throat. We're trying to. Well, so ideally, there's a custom service. There's a custom service. Let's call it vault. Ideally, you know, there's ways to use to save all your secrets here. Secrets here. Save all secrets here. And then, but in order to, so there's like a fetch, there's a put, and a fetch. And when you put and fetch the values, you need a way to like authenticate to the service, right? So you could use, you know, use your GitHub auth, GitHub auth to authenticate to authenticate to your own service with your user, and only whitelist your user from put and get your API secrets and tokens. Right. You could make it reference solutions like HashiCorp Vault. And let's see here. Make it reference this. Let's just put like, oops. That's not a good thing. Just make it reference this project and product. Right. You don't necessarily have to manage the deployment of Vault. You could create a very slim version of Vault that just lets you put and save all your values into like an SQLite DB or any DB. It just needs to be encrypted. So that, and if an actor does get access, if a bad actor gets access to this, they won't be able to, it'll be useless to them without the actual private keys. I think you have to also think of public and private keys and how to store them. So without revealing too much of my OPSEC of my services, I use Cloudflare as my main provider. But yeah, you could use Supabase, AWS, or anything. So SaveCred, Supabase, AWS, or email, something like that. Yeah, I think AWS has, like, if you're using AWS, if you're really overkilling it and have the money. I don't personally use AWS, it's too expensive because they charge you for everything. But they have Secret Manager. I can store all your secrets. Right. And that way, when your what do you call it? Your AI agent and Claude Codex tries to access it, it will say, hey, all I need you to do is authenticate with GitHub, and then authenticate with your provider, In this case, it's Cloudflare. And then with those combinations, it will be able to access or put secrets in the vaults. And then once it gets the secret into the vault, it loads it in memory. Loads it into memory. So it'll load it into like an environment variable. And then it won't write it to disk. Secret does not exist in memory. Right? Secret doesn't exist in memory. However, the one good thing that you could do is you could also implement rotation in this service. So in this service, now that it has the API key, you could actually go to this vendor and then perform a rotation. Hourly rotation. So you can actually rotate your secrets every hour. So in the case of a scenario where you accidentally leak your key, your only exposure is 1 hour. That's my philosophy. Although, I don't like the use of API keys either. There has to be some other solution like SAML or something. But yeah, as an industry, we're still trying to figure out that solution. Right, so that hopefully takes care of secrets. I have over several hundred API keys and secrets that I store this way. And none of those secrets, I don't know any of them. I don't know any of the secrets or their values. I just, you know, happily rotate them. I don't care what their value is. Can you recap this? Alright, so your vendor. A recap is you have your vendor, you generate the API key, you're trying to figure out where to store it. You have to create a custom service that will store these values into a database that's encrypted, typically by your provider, your cloud provider. And then in order to authenticate to the service, I advise you to have at least 2 methods that require either your GitHub authentication and your provider authentication. And you can also include IP whitelisting, so that only you could access this key from your machine. But there might be a scenario where, you know, another person may need to authenticate from another server. So it's up to you to apply this restriction. That way, when you give your API key to Codex, Codex will just require you to authenticate with these 2 providers, and then it will save the keys, your secrets, into Vault for you. You've published what bids you recorded about SigmaShake and others you're recording in past day, or is it continuation for them? I tried to, but yesterday's stream I completely cut off and I didn't continue about the SigmaShake. I didn't continue SigmaShake. It got well, yeah, let's just say one version got deleted. But I'll talk about SigmaShake again. Sadly, guys. I was talking about SigmaShake and why I needed SigmaShake, and then it got deleted.